Yuri.
Mr. Jones, where do I put my missing assignments because they don't fit in my phone?
Sorry, say that again. Where would you put them?
Yeah, because they don't
You mean
fit in here.
when you're finished with them?
Yeah,
In the envelope.
if they don't fit.
Why? You have that many?
Yes.
Why didn't you return some last week with your envelope?
I don't know.
Well, so does that mean that basically you didn't do any last week and you just did a whole bunch yesterday because I texted your mom?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal though. I want to you want to make sure, Yuri, and so pay attention to this. Don't just throw a whole bunch of answers down that don't mean anything, that don't give you any points really, because I'm not going to go through and grade that. If I start to see that you're not really answering the questions, I'm not going to count them at all. And I'm serious about that because it's not fair for me. It's not fair for anybody who's helping me grade to have to go through and then have all these answers that are basically nonsense answers or IDK or something like that because you didn't feel like doing the work before. If you're going to do them well, and not only that, if you do half of the assignments but you do them well, that's going to help you a lot more than doing all the assignments but doing them really poorly on your grade. I mean, altogether. Okay. So make sure that you're doing them well because if you're not doing them right, it's not going to be worth it for you to do it because I just won't count them at all because you didn't really do your best, and especially if you leave things blank or anything like that. So I'm telling you right now that that's going to happen. So before you get those, turn them in. Now, what you can do if you do get them done is find some kind of a file folder and then bring that back with your thing or staple them together, maybe by subject once you get them done, and then just give them back with the envelope next week when you do that. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of you. And so we're missing a couple here. And we'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and get your language out. And starting with page 154, which is what was assigned to you yesterday, number 10 and 10 through 12. Finish those three. And I'll read those answers for you. Okay. All right. And so 154 number, and this is being recorded in case you didn't know, for those of you that need to have it recorded. I'm looking for the window view. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I get 12 out of, so I'm missing 2. Hi, Nazar. Good to see you again. You couldn't make it yesterday. Did you get to see the video?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Okay, good. You guys, I think most of you know by now, but I'll say it again just in case you had forgotten this. If you're doing, if you missed the class for whatever reason when we're doing interactive time, I do record it, and it sometimes the recording, for some reason, I have a hard time getting to download onto YouTube. I try to, but sometimes it just doesn't work. But you can always go back to the chat room here in Skype under the 5th and 6th grade class, and then through that you're able to get your the video. You can watch the class with that. So bless you. All right, so let's go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Are we gonna start checking right now?
We are, yes.
Okay.
Do you not have yours with you?
Yeah, I do have mine.
Oh, okay. All right. So here we go. So on page 154, number 10, you should have a period after F, period after D, a comma after 30, a comma after 1882, and a comma after Hyde Park. Not after Hyde, but just after the park there in Hyde Park. Then a period at the end of the sentence. All right. Number 11, you have a period after Mr. and then a question mark at the end of the sentence. And then number 12, a period at the end of the sentence for that one. All right. And I said you didn't have to do the go back. And so let's look at the bottom there, word usage on 154. All right. These are the ones you should have underlined. You should have underlined. Number 1, himself. Number 2, I. Number 3, doesn't. Number 4, are. Number 5, you. Number 6, her. Number 7, weren't. Number 8, doesn't. Number 9, I. And number 10, are. All right. Oh, by the way, you guys remember when I think it was this year, I had diverticulitis when I had a problem with my stomach, and maybe it wasn't this year, maybe it was last year, but if sometimes I'll have pains. Diverticulitis is basically a thing in your intestines, in your colon, where it has little pockets that form as you age, and those little pockets can get small things caught in them and get infected. And I had it one time where I had diverticulitis. The actual holes are called diverticulosis, but Nathan knows about it because his grandmother had the same thing. But it can become infected and painful, and so I might, at some point, if that happens, I may have to go to the doctor, and then I go there for a while, and then the doctor will give me some kind of antibiotic after they do the test and everything. Well, if that happens during the day, I might not be here at the time that you're meeting. So I would do my best, if that's the case, to do something, maybe with my phone. I have my phone with me, and maybe I can let you guys know at that time that I will leave a video for you for the information that you need later on. But it's not happening right now, obviously. And every once in a while, though, I'm having pains. It's usually in the lower left part of my stomach. And so that, if that's the case, you might have that happen to you. But I'll let you know at that time if I can. If not, I might have to text you and let you know that at the same time. All right? All right, so here we go then. Page 155. All right, so let's look at those. These are ones you're supposed to just kind of look at and see if you know. And if we go through them and see what you understand and what you don't understand. All right. So number 1, it says, what are the 2 parts of a sentence? Let me call in somebody. Schlock, what are the 2 parts of a sentence? This is from way back.
Subject and a verb.
Not subject and verb. The subject is the main part of the sentence, and then the thing that we underline when we're talking about subject is actually called the simple subject, but the subject side of the sentence. And then what's the other part of the sentence called?
Predicate.
Anybody else? Yeah, the predicate. Very good. It is the predicate. That is the other part of the sentence. Okay, that's the big parts. All right. Now, what are the 4 principal parts of verbs that we've studied this year? The 4 principal parts. David, what do you think?
I don't know.
You have any idea, David? Well, let me start it off. I'll give you the first principal part. Oh, do you think you know, Giselle? Okay. Couldn't hear you. Say that again.
Action, being, and helping.
No, you're thinking of different types of verbs. Somebody is moving around right in front of where their device is, and it's making a lot of noise. So if you're not talking, if you wouldn't mind turning your mic off, or if I don't call on you. Let's try Alina. 4 principal parts of verbs. The ones that Giselle was just saying were 4 types of verbs. Any idea? Okay. Alina, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, you don't know? All right, let me give you a hint. The first one, the first principal part is called the present. Does that help anybody?
Present, past.
Okay, past is another one. And so there were 2 other ones that we did. They have the word present and the word past as part of the name of it. So what were they? Hi,
Present
Mrs. Draft.
participle, past participle.
Right, present participle and past participle, okay? And remember, present participle, any of the participle parts requires what with it? Anybody know? You have to have a helping verb with the participle. All right, and so that's what you're doing. Now, somebody did something. My screen completely changed on me.
It's just
I'm
the
not sure
recording
why.
that's showing.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I know that, but it's never showed before. That's why I'm saying that. It's never shown before, and suddenly it's showing. That's okay. All right. So we'll continue on then. It's just that I can't move people around now like I was doing before, so that's why I was trying to figure out how to do that. Oh well. Somebody's moving somebody. Who is moving? Oh, who started the call? Was it you, Sophia? I started the call myself, but then somebody knocked me off, and then I went back on, and I saw a couple of people on there. But anyway, all right, let's move on. All right, so the next one, it says the four principal parts requiring helping verbs are present participle and past participle. That was the next question. All right, now let's see if you can figure this one out, and I'll give you a hint. Page 19. What are the four principal parts of lie, meaning to rest or recline? To lie, meaning rest or recline. Not lie as in speaking something bad. Anybody? Go ahead and say it out or raise your hand if I can see. I can't see everybody, so.
Lay.
Okay, lay is which part, though? So give me the present, the past, present participle, past, and past participle.
Lane.
Lane.
Well, that's the past participle. What is the present?
Laid. Laid.
No, present.
Laying.
Today I lie down.
Wait.
Okay. Go ahead, Yuri. You got to turn your microphone on.
It's laying, laid, laid.
No, you guys are looking at the wrong one. You're looking at the one where you put something down. We're talking about to rest or recline.
Lie, lying, lay, lane.
Yeah, lie is the first one. Today I lie down. I am lying down. You have to have helping verb there. I am lying down. Yesterday I lay down, and I have lain on the bed all day long. Some of you probably think, yeah, I'd like to do that. And I did that actually during spring break. Maybe you did. All right, so let's look at the next part. It says, which part of the sentence should you always find first? When you're searching for things in a sentence, what should you always look for first? Let's do Elijah. Turn your microphone on, Elijah, and let's see.
What was the question?
The question was, what is the part of the sentence you always find first? When you're trying to find different parts of a sentence, what's the first thing you should always look for?
Verb.
That's correct, the verb. And so you should always find the verb first. All right, now it says in number 6, what nouns form their plurals by adding es? Now there was a part where you're doing plurals of nouns. It was in the noun section. And it would, which ones do you form plurals by adding es? Does anybody have an idea? Any thoughts? Guess which one do you think need es on the end of it for plural? You look in your table of contents. Go back to your table of contents really quickly. This part in the table of contents, which is the beginning of your book, tells you where things are. And so you look at Unit 2. It says nouns at work, and at the very bottom of that, page 34, it says plural nouns, spelling count. So go to page 34. That's where you'll find the answer to this question. So which one of those rules talks about talks about forming the plural nouns ending in s, or ending that it makes it an es? Which rule? Rule 2, yeah. Rule 2 says to form the plural nouns ending in s, d, ch, or sh, add an es to that. And so that's exactly the one you're talking about there. Okay. So next one, let's see. So how do you locate the subject of the sentence? You first find the verb, and then you do what? I've done it several times in class. Okay, somebody is doing something close to the microphone again because I can hear it. It's like moving a paper or something. All right, so let's try Sophia. So what do you think, Sophia? What do you do? It says to find the subject of a sentence, what do you do? Find the verb and do what? You got to turn your microphone on. Microphone's still off there, Sophia. I can't see you, so I don't know if you're on or not. It doesn't look like it's on. How about you, Ella? So you find the verb, and then what do you do?
You asked the question by like who did it?
Yeah, very good. Who or what with the verb. So if the verb is go, who or what went, or who or what is going, that type of thing. All right, and then what kind of sentence gives a command? I command Elizabeth to answer. Yes, imperative. Very good. Was that wasn't you, Elizabeth, was it? I think somebody else answered, even though I said Elizabeth. Okay. It says if a sentence is in inverted order, where will you find the subject? Inverted order means it's in backwards order. So, Angelica. So where would the verb? I mean, the subject be in an inverted order sentence? Gotta turn your microphone on. I'll give you a hint. It's in relation to where the verb is. So does it come in an inverted order sentence? In a normal sentence, where does the subject come as far as the verb is concerned? Before or after?
After.
Normal sentence, the subject comes before a sentence. So in an inverted order, it would come after. All right, so let's look at, what is a compound sentence? Who can tell me that, what a compound sentence is? Let's do Yuri. Microphone on.
It's two sentences combined to make one new sentence.
Very good. Two simple sentences combined to make one normal sentence. Okay. Well, it's not normal. It's a compound sentence. And it's usually joined by a conjunction with a comma or a semicolon. All right. This one is one that everybody always has a hard time with. So let's pick on Nazar, just because I like doing that. Nazar, what is the name for the noun for which a pronoun stands? So, for instance, if instead of Mr. Jones went to the store, you would say he went to the store. Mr. Jones would be the what for the word he. Starts with an A. The name of that is called it starts with an A. What's that?
Antecedent.
Very good. Very good. Awesome job. Antecedent is the word that stands for whatever the pronoun is supposed to be. All right. And remember when we were studying pronouns, there were two that were the same in the subjective and the objective case. Do you remember what those two were? Let's see, Ella? There were two that were the same, whether it was the subject of the sentence or the object of the preposition or the direct object or something like that. Those columns. And if you go and look at pronouns, which is Unit 4, it would probably be right at the beginning. If you see page 64. So if you want to go to page 64, if you want to see it, please, go ahead and look there. Page 64, where you have the chart of the pronouns there. Or page 65 is where the chart is. Which ones are the same in the subjective and the objective case?
I can, but I don't.
Page 65. Little chart there.
Mr. Jones, is it it?
I'm sorry?
And it?
Is it
Who
it?
is saying that?
Sophia?
Sophia, yeah, I can't see what you're trying to show me because your camera's off.
No, I'm saying, is it it?
Well, I was asking Ella, so Ella, go ahead.
Is it you and it?
You and it is correct. Those are the two. Yeah, you can see that they're the same in both of those, okay? All right, continuing on here.